Why I will never let a girl sleep over. A sleepover I will never forget. My name is Kay. I never wanted to tell this story, but I feel like maybe I need to now. It happened 3 years ago, and I still can't shake the memory of that night. Sometimes, I lie awake thinking about it, the girl, the fear, the hospital, everything. It's left a mark on me so deep that I'm not sure it'll ever go away. It all started when I met her on Facebook. Her name was Amma, and from the first message, she was different. Out of all the girls I'd met, she was the only one who seemed so genuine, so real. She had this calm way with words, a smoothness to her text that made her stand out. We chatted a lot, and I was hooked. Her words, her sense of humor, the way she carried herself, I was completely drawn in. So, I invited her over. I was in my final year at KNUST in Kumasi, and she lived in Accra. She agreed to visit, and we planned for her to spend the weekend at my place. Amma arrived on a Friday, and everything was good, better than good, actually. She was just as charming in person, and we got along like we'd known each other forever. We ate, talked for hours, shared stories, and then one thing led to another. It was a great night, and I remember feeling lucky to have met her. Saturday was the same. We cooked together, took a long walk, and just enjoyed each other's company. I was relaxed, thinking it was going to be an unforgettable weekend. But then, in the middle of the night, things took a dark turn. Around 1 a.m., Rama started feeling sick. She complained about a fever, said it was probably malaria. I thought the same. I could see she was in pain, though, so I decided to go out and get her some malaria medicine, even though it was the middle of the night. I ran around looking until I found a pharmacy that was open. I brought the medicine back, and she took it. She tried to rest, but her condition just got worse. By 3 a.m., she was crying, saying, "Okay, I'm dying. I'm dying." I'll never forget the way she looked, so weak, so helpless. Her face was pale, and her eyes were heavy with fear. I tried to calm her, but my hands were shaking. The fear hit me deep, like ice crawling down my spine. I kept telling her she'd be okay, but she just lay there, looking more fragile by the minute. I was desperate. I called one of my friends, woke him up, and begged him to help me get her to the hospital. We had no car, so I backed her on my shoulders all the way there, stumbling in the dark, my heart pounding with every step. We finally made it, and the doctors took her in, but they kept asking for money. Every test, every treatment drained me of the little cash I had. I was broke, completely empty. I called friends, borrowed from anyone I could, just to keep her going. By 11 a.m. that Sunday, I felt like I was in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. The doctor came to me with a look I'll never forget, and he told me her kidneys have failed. I froze. It was like someone had knocked the air out of my lungs. I knew then that this was bigger than anything I could handle. I had no idea what to do next, so I took her phone and tried to reach out to her family, to anyone who could help. I couldn't reach anyone. I just stood there, feeling like the world was crumbling around me. A few hours later, Amma opened her eyes just for a moment. She looked at me, weak but aware, and reached for her phone. She called her mom. By evening, her parents arrived, and they were calm and not angry or blaming me for what had happened. They didn't yell, didn't accuse. They simply arranged for an ambulance and took her back to Accra, to Korolbu Teaching Hospital. I felt a huge weight lift off my chest when that ambulance pulled away. I thought, thank God she didn't die in my arms. I left the hospital that day with nothing. I was broke, exhausted, and completely drained. But more than that, I was relieved. The fear, the panic, the helplessness, I'd never felt anything like that in my life. But the worst part came later. Amma passed away a month after that night. Her family couldn't save her. I heard the news, and I felt this deep, awful sadness settle over me. She was only 21. A sweet, kind girl who deserved a long life, and she was just gone. Since that day, I've never let anyone sleep over. I can't do it. The thought of going through that again terrifies me in ways I can't explain. It doesn't matter how close I am to someone or how much I care. If it's not my wife, I can't risk it. That night changed me forever. I'm not sure if I'll ever forget it. It's like a scar, something that reminds me every day how fragile life can be and how quickly everything can change. Have you ever had an experience with a sleepover that you will never forget? Share your experience in the comment section.